What's up? What's up? So, old Steve Kerr, come here, you. You know I'm laughing already. This Pringles head turkey came out and said that Draymond Green is the best defender he's ever seen in his entire life. Everybody, the jokes write themselves. I know you gotta act like you gotta say this because you've been to 6 finals and you won 4 chips, and he's like your co-anchor. You talk to him, you put up with his antics and his tactics. Somewhere in your chamber, you think he's like a modernized version of Dennis Rodman, which is hysterical. He's more like a more mobile version of Bill Laimbeer, except Laimbeer really got under his skin and he hid behind, but he actually had some game. He actually could shoot that thing. He actually had more of a credible offensive game, if you will. His tactics and his antics were legendary, and everybody knew how Laimbeer was. And what I do like about Laimbeer, though, there was none of this kumbaya with the enemy. Do you know to this day him and Larry Bird still can't stand each other? White on white crime 101. It's real. And he will tell you to a man, whether he believes it or not, that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. So I will give Laimbeer his due. He stays on code. He ain't bought into we gonna be all kumbaya and all that. Draymond Green, everybody knows with half a brain the last 10 years. If Kawhi Leonard had a halfway kept himself up, he's not even half of Kawhi Leonard as a defender, okay? He let alone Dennis Rodman, let alone Scottie Pippen, let alone Michael Jordan. I'm thinking Steve Kerr still ain't recovered from that Michael Jordan, Will Smith two-piece special he got in practice. And I know he's still holding it against him, and I understand. And we're not going to even mention Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon. We're not going to mention them. We won't mention them. We won't mention, defenders who put the locks on you. We're not going to say that because we don't want to go back too far. Even though we know that Steve Kerr is trying to justify the actions of a guy who most of his career is more WWF than he is NBA. We know the tactics that Draymond Green did employ. He is not Dennis Rodman. It's an insult. That's an insult in itself. To say he's better than Dennis Rodman even is an insult. A man who made a thing of doing that oneness better than most. And we're not even talking about Moses Malone. Well, I can name so many people. By the time I get to Draymond Green, it'll be half the day is gone. You get where I'm going with this? But because he was a specialty on those 4 championships, and it's a diss to Klay Thompson, who was actually one of the best two-way players. This is the same Draymond Green that if it wasn't for him when he was self-checked, so just like when you go to Costco or Walmart or wherever you go grocery shopping, you got the self-checkout line or self-pump when you go get your gas. That was Draymond Green in that finals that you last won. Because he couldn't hit a bull in the behind if it was sitting in front of him with 20/20 vision. And he got taken out of your rotation. And he did that thing to Jaylen Brown in game 2, which the kind of stuff he does to irk you and irritate you. That's what he specializes in. It ain't because of his game. The last time, pardon me, that he put together something was probably in 2019. And his last peak prime was 2016. Ironically, Stephen A. Smith always says the stimulus package that LeBron James got, which is true. Draymond Green getting suspended in the finals is still one of them. Don't get it twisted. Adam Silver and David Stern ain't that far removed. Don't get it twisted. Because but that was hokey. But anyway, Steve Kerr is hilarious. Because he don't believe that with a straight face. He don't believe that. Draymond comes up in spots. But if he doesn't use choke you out tactics, put you in the figure, the claw, if he ain't emulating Sting or Ronnie Piper or Lex Luger or Arnold Ole Anderson, if you was a wrestling fan in the 80s or the 90s, you know exactly the characters I'm talking about, or Ric Flair or something. If he ain't Buddy Landell, if he ain't putting you, Junkyard Dog, if he ain't trying to take you down in some kind of headlock or something, that ain't basketball. Or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I mean, or the Garvins or something, or Holly or Dusty Rhodes. If he ain't doing something, and ain't no basketball, what he be doing? That Kamala landing on Sabonis a couple years ago. The choke on Rudy Gobert, the sleeper. I mean, all the stuff that he be doing, his antics. That's not Rodman would wrestle you and get physical with you, but Rodman could flat out go up against you. You see. Till he got, older and then he got, but Draymond stays getting cooked. You know. His antics are corny and he's corny, but Kerr is comical, so we'll let you just marinate on that. And you know what? If this basketball thing don't work, y'all can always take that stage show and say he's the greatest defensive player I ever seen in my life. Please like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. Peace. And keep the jokes coming. I'm out.